Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here for the men's final at the European Championship Shotgun 2018 in Shooting Park Leobersdorf, Austria. Let me present the competitors. We have Bostian Macek from Slovenia, who entered with a 124. Congratulations for that qualification result. We have the Turkish shooter Tolga Tuncer with a 123, and we have Erik Varga from Slovakia with 122. Another 122 for Anton Glasnovic from Croatia. And we have the French shooter Antonin Desert with a 121. And after the shoot off, the Czech shooter Jiří Liptak entered with a 121. And we're right after the second target in this first elimination round. And I'm happy to have a co-presenter here, which is rather famous. I'm proud to present you Jelena Allen.
I'm not famous, but
she says she's
you.
not famous, but as I see on her records, she had some first places in World Cups, and she finished second at the World Championship as a skeet shooter, and she went to the Olympic Games 3 times. So even if she says she's not famous, I think we just call her famous. Hello, Jelena.
Hello.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me.
So,
shall we explain to our listeners that although you've just mentioned the scores that the shooters have qualified to get into the final, now that they are in the final, the scores are going to 0, and they have to start from scratch.
I was trying to explain that with all the last finals I presented, but you are absolutely right. For those spectators who do not know, we have had 125 targets in qualification, and now we have to forget these scores because all enter equal and are shooting a round of 25 now, and after 25 targets we see the first elimination, and the 6th competitor will leave this final.
That's right, yes. And then every 5 targets, the weakest competitor will leave.
Yeah.
Till there's only one left standing. Well, 2, but one of them will win.
Yes. So do you still shoot, or are you only there as a trainer, or
No.
what
I do still shoot.
Yeah.
I'm here at the moment as a chairman of the athletes committee. So just prior to this final and the ladies' final, I had a meeting with the trap athletes.
Okay, so will we see you next week in the skeet
Yes, you
shooting?
will.
I'm very much looking forward to. So I hope that you will not be able to co-comment the skeet final because I see you there.
I hope so too.
So what do you think about our shooting range here, our brand new shooting range?
You've certainly done a great job. Everything looks absolutely fantastic. I particularly like the ranges 3 to 5 because they are amongst the trees. It's really nice.
Yeah,
and
that's what is missing here on the 2 stages that we are, and in the final stage here on this range, that there still is no shade. You should have seen that. That was a working site up to 2 weeks ago.
I can imagine looking at the banking.
Yeah. So that was really, they worked hours and hours, day and night, without stopping. And I think you know Joseph Hanenkamp,
Yes.
our main skeet or main shooter.
That's right. He's been around for a long time.
He's been around for a long time. I used to shoot with him in the skeet team years ago, but we know each other something like 40 years perhaps.
Right. So we've got 2 skeet shooters commentating on the trap final. We'll try and do our best. So the gentleman's just announcing the...
After 5 targets we have 2 shooters that are still clean. The Croatian and the Czech shooter are still clean. All the others have 1 to 3. Unfortunately, the Turkish shooter, who entered second,
He's quite a young gentleman, isn't he? He was born in 93, and is fairly new to the international scene. He hasn't done that many competitions.
Yeah, I think the pressure in one of those finals here with music around, I was not at all used to finals with music. At the time I was shooting, music was something
Yeah, we had,
a
everyone had to
total
keep quiet.
no-go. Yeah,
Yeah.
even the spectators were not allowed to talk.
No.
And so this changed a lot for this, yeah.
But I think for him, it's just even been in his first final. That's
I
huge.
think this is a great result for him to be
Absolutely.
underneath the 6 best trap shooters. I mean, there's
Amongst-
so many old, not
You can't
old
say
in
that.
age, but very skilled experienced
Yeah.
shooters that would have loved to take his
Oh,
place in this
absolutely.
final.
Absolutely.
So I would say whatever he finishes now, he's done a great competition.
Yeah.
With his final, what did he have?
He shot 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. So imagine he only made 2 mistakes within 125. I think
In 2 days,
he
5
might be
rounds.
proud.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he'll be proud. I'd love to know if it's a national record or not, or whether someone shot a better score in their national competitions. But it's certainly a world-class result, and
I
he would
think
make
this is a world-class result.
he would make
and
finals in ISSF competitions, no problem with that score.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. That's great for the Turkish Shooting Association that they have youngsters coming up with good results. Something we do not have at all here in Austria. We were just having a discussion. There's almost no young shooters coming up.
And is that to do with the financial assistance, or you just lack?
You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The financial situation for shooters in Austria is not easy. We're very beautiful shoes.
Yep.
We do not know whose shoes those are, but it looks like they're the shoes of Varga, the Slovakian shooter, who finished first the World Championship in Lonato 215 and first at the World Championship in Granada 214. So I would say he's one of the best known trap shooters at the moment.
Oh, well, Glasnovich is well known as well. and
Glasnovich is
Liptak.
also, I mean, there's a bunch of very well known guys, and I think it's more or less only the Turkish shooter that is not. This the French one, yeah.
Yeah, he's only just come up this year. He's had a World Cup medal in Tucson. Is it? No, he made a final in Tucson.
He made the final in Tucson, which actually is not that bad, and having his second final this year at the European Championship.
Yeah.
And yeah. So we're just about having finished the 10th target. We're in the last target for this round of 10. We have still 2 guys in the lead, Croatia and Czech Republic, with a total of now 9, but let's suppose they both hit.
No, let's wait till they hit them. And
Okay, okay. I
as
know
you know,
I know the story. Yes, I'm always
No, we're shooting. Anything can happen. You know.
I know.
It's high pressure environment.
Competitions are over when the last target
That's right.
is thrown and not before.
As the famous English expression goes, it's not over till the fat lady sings. So, but we have got 1 straight 10 out
We
of 10
have done 1 straight 10, so he's clean.
from Glasnovich.
So Glasnovich, who finished second at the World Championship in Lima in 2013, stays clean in this European Championship within the first 10 targets. But as you say, nothing is decided now.
And Liptak just joined him as well.
Liptak joined him with another clean 10. And we have 2 8s, 1 6 and 1 4. So the young Turkish shooter seems to be very surprised by the pressure that comes up in a European Championship final.
I think he's just probably not used to it, having never
I think
experienced
so.
it before.
And I think, normally it's nice and quiet on the shooting range, and now with this music, I have to admit, I'm not sure if I could have hit one target with music in the background.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is one of the questions that was raised in the meeting today. And
So what is the overall opinion?
well, the overall opinion, as long as it doesn't affect the targets, because in some cases, if the music is too loud, it either muffles your call, so you have to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, you know, you get ready again, have to call from the target
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
The other thing that happens, you don't get an instant target. There's a slight delay, which obviously in trap, when they call the target should come out immediately. So things like this, as long as it doesn't interfere with the targets, people don't have a problem. But it seems to be there's a bit of inconsistency at different championships where the microphones are placed.
Okay. And so what about the shooting range here? Is there any result already if this affects the target or the timing?
We don't know, because obviously the majority of people at the meeting were seniors, and we only had the junior finals yesterday, so I don't know. But we need to have a system whereby things are the same from place to place, you know?
Sure.
Because it's no good if it starts affecting the targets, which then affects your performance and your concentration.
Yeah, no.
But I think music overall is quite a positive thing.
I think this has changed a lot for the shooters, because before that it was all quiet and concentration, and now with the music and a little party in the audience, which we miss a little today. But I think, as I said before, the heat must have calmed them down a lot.
Yeah, I think though, you know, as long as the music is not, it should be directed towards spectators for them to enjoy. Of course, shooters will hear it as well, and you do get used to it, I'm sure. But we need to make the sport a little bit more presentable.
Sure.
For the outside world.
For non-shooters, shooting competitions are really boring.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I hear from my wife since years.
Apparently, this is what, you know. Lovely film again. I mean, the quality of filming is a little bit different. Obviously, that also takes a bit of practice. So we need to improve how we show our sport on the television. Sure. Try and make it interesting.
Plus, there's many different opinions, because there's people who say show more the
shoes,
the surroundings, the shoes, the jackets, fashion of spectators and things like that.
Really?
Yeah. We
Fashion
heard all that.
spectators?
Yes. We definitely heard that all day long, that we
wow.
should show more spectators, more emotions in the audience, but we see them all sleeping because it's so hot outside.
But do you think more show more emotions of the shooters, which might make it more interesting then?
Yes, plus they constantly tell us show more emotions, like here you see
Of
the coaches, but I cannot see so many emotions in their faces. So
no, they're playing cool, but I think as an athlete sometimes it's harder not to show emotion, because you're out there doing the job. Coaches are just sat there watching.
Sure,
you know?
Sure. As a shooter, as you are, you would prefer to see more shooting or more surroundings and more overall impressions of the shooting range?
I think, because I'm in a slightly different position, I would rather not have a shooter's hat on. I think whatever will attract TV audiences, that's what should be shown. Because I would like to see our sport prosper.
Sometimes we are lucky and we have party going on in the audience, but as they sit, when they sit like they sit today, it's very hot outside.
Yeah.
No one wants to move without any strong reason for moving.
No, actually, if you look, we can see from the window a little bit of the audience.
They look a little tired.
Yeah, kind of sleeping.
Yeah, they look very sleepy. But as I said, it has 36 degrees, and most Austrians are not very much used to these temperatures.
Most of the Europeans are not used to it.
That's it, yeah. Perhaps the Spanish and the Portuguese, but we don't have any Spanish. Perhaps dessert is coming from southern France. The Turkish guy should be used to the heat.
I think it's a slightly different heat. I think humidity is fairly high.
But he's fighting with the pressure.
Yeah. So 15 targets. Oh, fantastic results so far from Glasnovic.
Yeah, Glasnovic seems to be in good shape because he's still clean after 15 targets. Yeah. As we already mentioned, the Turkish youngster does not seem to be happy with the pressure that is put on him in this European Championship final.
No, but I'm sure he will learn a lot and he will take away a lot.
Oh yeah,
and he can
I'm sure.
improve.
I'm sure too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better to be in the final.
It's better to be in a final and know for the next final what's coming up
Absolutely.
than not
Yeah,
entering the
absolutely.
final. Sure.
I think
So what are your next plans? I think next goal will be the World Championship.
No, European Championship.
Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah, after the
Okay,
European
next week.
Championship.
Next week, European Championships. We see you in the final. I hope so. And then next thing coming up, you start the race for the Olympic quota places at the World Championships, I think.
Yeah, that's right for everyone. This is the first chance to win Olympic quotas. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is in Korea, I think,
That's
the World
correct.
Championship. Yeah.
South Korea. Yeah.
South Korea. I think you have been there. You were there several times.
No,
No?
I was only there in 2007, I think. Six or
Okay.
seven, something like that, the World Cup. We did have a World Cup this year, March, April. I can't quite
But you
remember.
did not go.
No, it's just a bit too expensive for my pocket. I didn't want to pay that amount of money.
So how is it? I just know that in Austria, that's one of the biggest reasons we do not get young shooters, because there is no money from any companies that put money in, or any organizations that put enough money in for young shooters to come up. So if you don't have the background from wealthy parents,
That's
or
right. Yeah.
I mean, there's no youngster with a good job that earn a lot of money. So either you have the parents that are behind, or
you don't shoot.
you don't shoot. Yeah.
To be honest, it's a very similar situation in the UK. Unless you
Okay.
have parents or grandparents, you will not see youngsters because they do not
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
the finances to start.
No.
And obviously, when we're talking about youngsters, junior age in shooting is under 21, and you cannot shoot in the year when you are 21. So we're only talking really about people up
Yeah.
to their
Yeah.
20th year. And what person earns enough money to live and shoot on at that age? Well,
What is
very
your
few.
average in training targets every year? How much do you shoot?
I'm a little bit different to most. I do not shoot a lot, maybe 5 to 7,000.
Oh, because I was just listening at lunch. There was a table with some of the gentlemen we see here in the final, and they were talking about between 50 and
What?
70,000
Wow.
targets a year.
Well, they must just shoot all the time.
Yeah, they say they shoot 4 to 5 days a week,
Okay.
and whenever they shoot between 600 and 1,000 per day.
I've never shot that in one day ever in my life. I've never even shot 400.
And I'm not sure, but I know some of the guys shooting skeet, like Vincent Hancock or Lakatosh some years ago. Josh, yeah, who was born more or less on a shooting range, as his father was keeping this shooting range. He was up to, he said in his strongest years, he was shooting up to 100,000 targets
Wow.
a year.
I think it's nice to be in a financial position where you can
I
shoot
think
that
you
amount.
only can do that if you are living more or less on the shooting range. You better own the shooting range.
Yeah, but even if you
And you
still
make a lot of
costs
money
lot.
with the shooting range, that
Yeah.
you keep enough money for your son or for your
Yeah.
daughter to be able to shoot every day.
Because if you think it's not just the clays, it's also the
it's,
cartridges.
Yeah, the cartridges, everything.
and
I
the
mean,
time, because you haven't got the time to earn a living
Yeah.
to live on.
Yeah, that's it for young shooters. Here we were talking about that at lunch today. You need to commit your life to sport if you want
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
compete on a high level. And as long as parents are not willing to more or less force their kids to do that, and we all know
Well, you
what it
can't,
means.
can
You
we?
can't force
No.
young people between like 15 or 20 years.
You can't even older
If
people.
they are not completely into
Yeah.
shooting, they
No.
will not want
No.
to hang out on shooting ranges every day and every weekend.
Well, I don't
and
think you need to be here every day. Let's say you can do it in a way where you can have a life outside of shooting, but you have to commit yourself to this.
Yeah, yeah.
But we can
Plus,
continue this
parents also have to
yeah.
commit themselves to it,
financially.
or grandparents, or
Yeah.
whoever. But okay, we have
Yeah.
20 targets. We have no one that is clean, but we have two with 19. Still the Croatians and the Czech shooter. at 19, Glasnovic and Liptak. And we have Bostian Macek from Slovenia with 18. And the Slovakian shooter, Varga with a 17. And we have the French shooter with a 16. And the young Turkish guy with a 10. Smoking and phoning, yep.
We're back.
We are back in the game, so we are ready for the last 5 targets.
Yeah, so we've lost the least rank shooter. We've lost the 6th shooter from the final, which is...
Not yet, no, we didn't
No?
know. We lose him in 5 targets. No,
Did
we
I
are
not?
only at 20.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've lost that other shooter, didn't we?
No, I think they do not show us. No.
How many
There's
targets
a-
have they shot?
They
five
have
more,
got
is it?
20, yeah, there's 5,
Okay,
there's
5
4
more.
more. No, we are still 6 shooters.
I
The
can't quite
Turkish
see the
youngster
screen.
is still in the game.
Okay.
But we can be sure that after this elimination round of 25 targets, Toncer from Turkey will leave this competition. But still, congratulations for this
Absolutely,
great
yeah.
shooting and great competition.
Yeah, you
And
can't
the
catch
great
up.
entry into international shooting competitions and international shooting competition finals.
Okay, so we've got sort of 3 shots more or less each. Once the Turk-
Yeah. So no, the decision is done. The Turkish guy will leave us,
Yeah.
and still between the French and the Slovakian guy, within the next 5 targets, everything can happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
And also the 2 others with 21, and there's another one with 20. Okay, they now can catch up to 22 because he was first. Macek.
It's a long way yet, so...
It's a long way still to go.
And with the pressure and the heat.
Yeah, and the pressure is rising and rising and rising.
Probably for some and not for others. They are keeping, some of the
They're
shooters are
keeping their
shooting,
pace, yeah.
exceptionally well there.
I mean, they are on 22 of 23, so he missed 1 target until now, Glasnovic. And, I mean, he entered this final with a score of 122. So he's missing his 4th target within 2 days, which I think is not that bad.
I think it's pretty good. Most of us would settle for that,
Yeah.
if not all. So 1 more shot.
1 more shot for...
Once they finish
Okay,
this
so
sequence and there's one more
Toncer
shot,
finishes with a 14.
He will.
He
We'll have to
will,
hit 1 more target
yeah.
and then we'll see.
1 more target, and then we see. Okay, so 23 out of 24, they stay pretty clean.
I think it's very nice for spectators to see flash targets.
Oh yeah, I think every spectator who does not want to look shooting will be convinced when he sees flash targets, because without flash targets it's really something very special, and you have to like the sport very much.
Yeah, and that makes it easy to see.
Yeah,
exactly
that makes it
what's
easy to
happening.
see. Plus, with the green and dark background now, we see them very well.
Yeah.
It's a well lit,
Yes.
exploding target. It's nice to see.
Okay, so we just saw the Turkish shooter is not very happy with himself, but I think he's got to pat himself on the back and learn from this experience and move
I
forward.
think so too. Yeah, I mean, there's one thing he can be very proud to be 6th best shooter
Yeah.
in Europe
That's right.
at his
absolutely.
age. I think this is something very special.
I think at any age.
At any age.
Particularly-
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I would have loved at any age. Naturally, I've never achieved that. But so, yeah, we're saying goodbye to the Turkish guy. Congratulations and good luck for the upcoming competitions. perhaps we see him at the World Championship in Korea with another good score.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's ready to go.
Yeah, having shot 1, 2, 3, he's got huge potential ahead of him.
Yeah. So the others, we have two shooters with a 24, so they missed one target out of this 25, and we have two with 22 and one with 20. So those next 5 targets are bringing some suspense. Who is going to be the next leaving? Still very silent crowd.
Well, it's a very exhausted crowd.
I think so
Heat
too.
exhausted.
Yeah. Normal Austrian temperatures would have given a little more action in the audience, but yeah.
I think it was livelier yesterday because of the rain.
Of the rain, yeah, but we were very lucky because there was a lot of rain all around the shooting range and almost no rain here. And when I came here yesterday with my car, I wasn't able to see the car in front of me,
It was that bad.
stuck in a traffic jam because of the rain.
So we got exceptionally lucky. We just had a
we
few
were
drops.
exceptionally lucky because there were
Yeah.
some drops being blown by the wind to
Yeah.
here. So we were really lucky, and we're lucky today because there were forecasts for tempests, but as I see now, there's not even a little cloud in the sky. So we're good to go.
Yeah, there's a Czech flag being waved.
A Czech flag being waved, so we should show that. As the,
What they did.
Croatian shooter now was the first to hit his 26th target out of 27.
Lovely empty shells on the floor.
Glasnovic and now Liptak, who has a 25 also. Buff he's hitting, and we have still two shooters with 26. Perhaps they're going to show the results on screen. I see them outside here at the scoreboard.
And I can't say a thing, which makes it difficult.
Which makes it difficult for you, but I can
Oh,
tell you
there
that here they are. So yeah, as I said, we have two with 26 out of 28,
So we've got
and
2 and a bit more shots.
they can both still make 27 out of 28. Yeah, we see 27 here.
They're shooting very strong right now.
Very strong right
Yeah.
now. So I think if there is not one big mistake of Maciek and Varga, we are going to see the French shooter.
Let me see. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
He will go if it's.
Yeah, but Glasnovic and Liptak, who entered this final, where is our list? Glasnovic, who entered with a 122, shoots a strong final round.
Yeah, and of course also the way shooters, the sequence in which they are seeded for the final will affect if the scores are equal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So even if they're on the same score.
Yeah, so now we have Glasnovic and Liptak, and as Liptak entered after the shoot-off, if ever it comes up to a tight race, Glasnovic is taking the lead. But let's wait, because we're not finished now, and as we said,
Yeah, but
competition is over when the last target
well,
is hitting the ground.
for the fat lady sings. Yeah, but I think it's
Plus the singing lady, I
Yeah.
forget about the singing lady.
I think it's pretty clear that the French
Yeah, I think so
guy,
too. Yeah, the French guy is going to leave
Yeah, won't be able to get that.
this competition after this next target. Even if he hits it, he will finish with a 25. Yeah, he hits. No,
Oh,
he
he missed.
misses. Okay, so Jerzy Liptak
He should also
missing also, so we have a clear result after 30 targets with Glasnovic in the lead with 29. We are saying goodbye to the French shooter Antonin Desert, which is actually the same as dessert or desert.
Is he tasty and yummy?
Either he's very dry from the desert or very tasty as he's
as a
sweet.
dessert. Yeah, lovely surname.
As we're both not English
French.
mother language speakers,
Oh.
I think we can make those jokes
We're neither French speakers.
without
so
complaining from the audience.
apologies to anyone who's offended.
Okay, so we have 3 guys left in this final here for the next 5 targets.
The French guy looks really upset. They just showed him on the screens.
Yes, but still, you know, he's on 4th place of European Championship.
5th, right?
Oh, excuse me, 5th. Yeah, he's 5th, and still he's 5th
5th is better than
shooter
6th.
in Europe, and
That's right.
he did shoot some very good
We show
result with 122. 122. The 121. Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh, there's our guys. There's Abby and Ed Ling. Obviously, Ed is well known in the trap world because he was the bronze medalist at the Rio Olympic Games.
Okay.
And that was his wife Abby next to him, who's also a trap shooter. She won a World Cup. I think it was in Lenato in 2016.
So all pretty skilled shooters.
Yes,
you can say.
Skilled family.
A skilled family. Yeah.
And
So
they've got their little.
imagine how they commit their lives to shooting.
Well, they've got their little baby girl with them, and there's another one on the way. They're pregnant.
I saw that, yeah. And are there toy guns, toy rifles in the family?
I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
You know, just think of the genes.
And is it a trap family or is
Trap
a
family,
trap
yeah.
family?
And Ed's dad shoots trap as well. And Ed's younger brother was in the men's junior final yesterday.
Oh.
He came 4th. So it
Okay.
is a proper shooting family.
Shooting family, yeah. So they must own a cartridge production or something like that.
Or a farm.
Or
With a shooting range.
or a farm with a shooting range, yeah.
Which is great.
So Glasnovic still very strong. Very strong.
One more
Magic too.
target to go
One
in
more
this
target,
sequence.
yeah. So I think
This is the worst place to end up with, actually, being 4th.
yeah, being 4th
That's-
always, yeah, that's
yeah.
what we call the leather medal in Austria. Yeah.
That's very cruel to be in that position.
Yeah. So we're entering this last round of 1 target to achieve the 35 targets. And we have the first one who has hit his 35th target and ending with a 32. And we have a 31 from Varga.
Well, he's done all he could. You know, he's had a clean run of the last 5 targets.
He had it 122 in the qualification.
An unexpected miss from Anton Glasnovic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which tightens up the race between the Croatian and the Czech shooter. So we're saying goodbye to Erik Varga from Slovakia. Congratulations for a great competition, great qualification result, and some good shooting in this final.
And hard luck on your 4th position.
Yeah, but yeah, there's always one on the
Yeah, I know someone has to end
on
up
the
in.
ugly 4th position. Someone
again,
has to take it.
That's right. 4th is better than 5th and 6th.
Yeah,
So that's something to
that's
take
it.
away.
You're absolutely right.
So now we have all the medalists are left now to shoot.
We have only medalist shooters in the last race of we now shoot from 35 to 40 to see who is taking the bronze medal.
And it's pretty
And
hard.
it's a tight race. I
Yeah.
mean, with 32 and 33 and 33, everything can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the pressure's starting to build up a bit now.
Pressure is getting high now. Temperature is high enough already. We're about at 36 degrees, I think. Well tanned, everybody on the shooting range. Or red.
Hopefully they apply their sun creams.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Lovely filming, actually. You can see everything here.
Yeah.
Very nice. I quite like this picture where you see a shooter walking and you see everything in the background.
There was one miss now.
Was that from the...
Yeah, Liptak missed one target, yes. That pushes him
He's giving
a
Glasnovic.
little behind, putting pressure on the other ones because they don't want to miss that chance. But
No, I think it's probably actually making the leading shooter a little bit more relaxed, giving him a bit of a leeway. You know?
yeah. On the other hand, as you know, it depends on your momentarily situation.
It depends on your
That
brain at the time.
that can lighten up everything, or the pressure gets a little stronger,
Yeah.
and
Oh, another
with the
miss.
upcoming heat at the shooting range, all of a sudden smoke comes up from under the cap, and
Oh,
you see pressure is rising.
they're starting to miss now. It's strange that, but it does happen sometimes where they keep hitting every target, then one
Yeah,
person
yeah.
miss, and then the next couple miss as well. And that's what just seems to have happened. They've all missed sort of.
Okay, so we're going for the 39th, the before last target, before the last elimination. We have 2 at 36, and
Well, wait for them to.
yeah.
finish,
No, before this
Yeah.
40s target, we had both at 36. Now 37 for one, and Liptak shooting this last target
Oh.
and missing it. So now we have to have a look.
Well, Liptak will drop.
Liptak will drop out as bronze medalist in the European Championship. Congratulations.
Hang on, why are they going? Okay, he's getting his stuff together.
He's getting his stuff
Yeah.
together and leaving, yeah. So congratulations to Jerzy Liptak from Czech Republic, who finished at 121 and won the shoot-off to enter the final.
And he's put in a really strong performance here.
Strong
36.
performance, and he's doing bronze medal
Yeah.
at the European Championships. Come on, I mean, there's only one bronze medal at the
He-
European Championship.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see.
And he was competing
One, two,
against,
three,
I
four.
think, 8 shooters did the shoot-off.
It was a
of-
7-way shoot-off,
Yeah.
so, and I can see here he's beaten 2 of our guys. There's Aaron Heddin and Ed Ling, both of them were in that shoot-off.
yeah. No,
yeah.
he did a strong shoot-off.
Yeah.
Strong.
Strong
I was
shoot-off,
watching
and
it,
then-
and
Yeah.
he was doing very good, yeah.
And then a very strong performance in the
Yeah.
final as
Yeah.
well. So well
Yeah,
done
no,
to
he
him.
can be proud of a very
absolutely.
solid competition.
And a bronze medal.
And a bronze
go
medal.
home with.
Yeah, a bronze medal. Come on, there's only one.
Yep. And
Only one bronze medal. So we are now going for another 10 targets for the last 2 shooters. And we still have
Ooh.
the Slovenian and the Croatian
done.
shooter
Mhm.
that are matching now, and we have another 8 target to go, so nothing is over now. Slovenian guy hitting solidly.
Yeah.
That must be something. I was always thinking about the trap shooters that only have 1 cartridge for this final.
Oh yeah, of course. I
rounds.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Of course. It just
Because
seems
normally
normal.
for those spectators
Yeah.
who do not know, during qualification, all shooters have 2 cartridges for 1 target and are allowed to shoot a second shot, and
That's correct.
the hit counts as a hit. But during final, you only have 1 cartridge, and that
May I make a joke? Now they know how we feel. That is skeet shoot.
we skeet shooters know how that is. But as we know, in the
Yeah.
final, there's only doubles,
Yep.
and so. What about you? Was it easy for you to get used to those reverse doubles?
No, because I don't shoot a huge amount. It's just taken quite a long time to get there.
Yeah.
I think you need to shoot a lot, to
I
get
know,
there
yeah.
quickly. That's
That was exactly the moment I definitely quit skeet
Yeah.
shooting, when they took the decision that even in lower level
Yep.
Austrian competitions,
you had to shoot those.
we started to shoot the real competition regulations,
Yeah.
and those reverse target doubles
Mhm.
were 45 targets achieved. We have both at 41 targets. So as we said, shooting is over after the last target, and they putting on some suspense for the audience now,
Yeah, and
which is still sleeping.
And just to mention that if nothing changes at the end of the 50 shots, the highest ranked shooter going into the final will win, which is Macek, because he shot 1-2-4 in qualification.
So there will be no
No.
shoot-off, even if they're equal after the final?
Oh, this is what I was told.
Okay, because I was
I
thinking about seeing a shoot-off when they...
thought that too, but
finish
I
off
asked
equal.
yesterday.
But you know what, Jelena, we will see, and we will
We'll see.
learn a
Yeah,
lot
that's right.
about
Hopefully
trap shooting.
Yeah.
We,
Well, no, it'll be the same in ski, but unfortunately I haven't
we
read the
even could
rules.
start trap shooting as we know the regulations
Well,
after this final.
I used to shoot trap in my
Oh.
very young days.
Okay,
So I'm actually initially a trap shooter.
Okay.
But I transferred to ski.
okay. I'm my first person on the shooting range I met was Joseph Hahnenkamp,
Yeah.
who saw me trying my first shot.
And he dragged you to ski. He
And
said, no,
said,
don't bother trying
You
this.
know what? You become a ski shooter. So I never ever, I mean, yes, I shot some rounds of trap, but never on a competition level.
Right.
And I really was a bad trap shooter, I have to say.
That's impossible.
I did a lot of sporting clays
Yeah.
and a lot of skeet shooting.
Okay, well, I can tell you now, if you can shoot ski, you can shoot trap.
Still, you know, today I'm more the hunting guy, and
Okay.
still the birds that fly directly away from me are those who survive. So 49th target,
It's
and
getting very
Maciek
tense.
Bostian from Slovenia has hit his 49th target. Oh, no. Yeah, yes,
No,
sure.
so the teammate just can't bear to watch. Did you see it in the stands?
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, that's his brother. There in
That's his brother,
glasses, yeah.
okay. So Bostian Maciek shooting his 49th
Whoa.
target,
He's won.
and he has won because he hit the target, and Glasnovic, even if he hit, he's one behind. So we
Can't
have a
catch.
new European champion in Trap 2018 at the European Championship in Austria
Oh,
with Bostian Maciek from Slovenia, and we have a great second place silver medal for Glasnovic. And I think we saw a great trap final. I thank you very much, Jelena, for your
my pleasure.
co-speaking. We learned a little about the regulations in trap shooting. We are lucky that there was no shoot-off and it wasn't even necessary, so we didn't have to take
I
this
don't think you
decision.
have a shoot-off. I'm sure you don't have a shoot-off.
I'm not sure at all, I have to admit. And as trap is over now, we are just looking forward to we're looking forward to team competition tomorrow and mixed team and stuff like
Okay,
that.
after, yeah.
And then I'm very much looking forward to seeing some good qualification shooting, especially from your side.
Nothing like putting any pressure on me now, eh?
No pressure at all. I'm just sure about that. No, anyhow, we're looking forward to some nice skeet competitions and some still we see trap shooting.
Yeah.
So thank you very much and goodbye and have a nice time in Austria. I hope
Thank
you
you very
like
much.
it.
Vielen Dank.
You're welcome. Bitte sehr.
Cheers.